I received this Bonis fur machine in the mail. I got it. It said parts only, but the only thing is that it's missing a needle. No big deal. But this thing must have been sitting, I don't know where, for a long, long time. Let's pull off the cover. Oh my. Oh. As you can tell, there's needs to be cleaned. Okay, it spins okay. Okay, let's see what the bottom looks like. Well, as you could tell, we're going to have to pull this baby apart. Yipper. And I will show you how to do that. I never sewn on one of these. I bought one for parts only and took it apart to learn how it's put back, take it apart, put it back together, and to adjust everything. But there are some pieces on that that are wore out and stuff that it doesn't quite work right. I'm not going to give up on it. It might be a year or two project for me to get that thing working like it's supposed to, but I'm not going to give up on it. But this one right here is supposed to be fully operational, but the only thing is that it doesn't have a needle. Okay. And it is a B machine because it has, somebody said that it has, because it has this bolt right here. There's nothing bolt going through there.
No, I'm an idiot. This is an A machine.
Let me get this thing on a stand and I'll show you what you need to do to take this thing apart, and so you can put it easily back together again. Okay, now that we take this apart, do not get ahead of me when you take this machine apart, okay? Because there's some things you do not want to take apart. You don't have to take apart, and you have a chance of breaking it if you take it apart. So if you want to take yours apart, stay with me and do not get ahead of me. Oh man, I did not want to do that. Okay, first thing we want to do is take off this hand wheel. Okay, we want to take this screw out right here. Okay, if you cannot get this screw out, don't sweat it. This hand wheel doesn't need to come off for the disassembly. The reason I want to take it off because I want to verify that this screw head is on the flat of the shaft. Okay, and the best way to tell that it is you see that it is at the very top. Okay, and let's see, let's put it, and as you see that screw head down there, now if you go over here, you see that screw head and that screw head. Okay, this cam moves your needle bar back and forth. This cam does your stitches. Okay, you see how they're at the top? That's what we're looking for. So if your hand wheel screw matches these screws, then you really don't need to take this apart. I want to take mine off. It all depends if I could pull it off the shaft or not. I could get the screw loose. I just wanted to see how clean it is underneath the shaft, but I'm not going to worry about it if I can't pull it off by hand. I'm going to move on. And then I'll tell you what we need to do once we get into this part right here, okay? So let me see what I could do with my hand wheel. Okay, as you can see, I got mine off, and you can see that this flat is right here on the shaft, and you can see the screws that I showed you, they're up all on top. Okay, now this cam here, that screw is towards the back. Okay, right there's the screw right there for it. And so that's basically is towards the back of the machine. But what I'm going to do, just to make sure, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take a Dremel tool, and I'm going to go ahead and take a wire brush, and I'm going to mark that, so I know that this is the top. When I clean this, I'm still going to see those brush marks. Okay? Or you could take a punch and just make a little divot right there. So, okay, so now that we established this, now we could take the top part apart, the top shaft apart. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, we got to push those push pins out. They're not in there all that tight. At least the ones I took out before weren't. I don't know about this machine. Okay, so we're going to push these pins through. But when you do it, try to set them up to where where you pushed them out, and you're going to put them in the same way, and then make sure that each pin goes in where it came out from. Okay, so how you want to mark it, however you want to do, make sure that pin goes there, that pin goes there, and that end is there, and that end is there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. There, I got a drift pin punch set. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and punch this out. Okay, I punched it out on this side because I could see where it's all nice and shiny where I was hitting it with my punch. So this one goes up. So I will put this in a special place so it doesn't get disturbed on which way it goes. Okay, I'm going to do the other one. Okay, and I'm just taking just a pair of wire cutters. You see, they're not in there all that tight. What makes it good is that this how it's already, when you put all these pins and stuff back in, it's already adjusted. You don't have to play the adjustment game. Okay, so it went in like so. Put that one over here. Okay. Now you could go ahead and loosen up these set screws. There we go. You don't need to take them out. Just loosen them up. Ooh, maybe. Uh-oh. Let me put some penetrating oil on it. I use that cryo oil. Let's see here. Let's see if this screw needs it. I better. This screw right here doesn't need to come out. Just this one right there does. One in the deep well. Okay. Well, we're letting that soak in. We're going to keep moving our way back. Now we want to take this bolt and this stop off here. Okay, let's see here. Nope, let's use the proper tool for the proper job here. I think it's 3/8. Yeah, 3/8. Okay. We'll take this off. Do not touch these screws. This screw, this screw, this screw. Leave these alone. We're not gonna mess with these whatsoever. Okay, let's go punch that out. There we go. And as you can see, it's like a square cam-like thing, okay? So we know where that goes back in there. Okay. Now, let me see if this one has it. Yes, it does. Okay. Now we're going to see if we can't get this screw out next. Okay. Okay, that one came loose. There's a little push pin on this model. Okay, now that we got those screws on top loose, now we got two things to do here underneath to disconnect everything, okay? Underneath all this stuff, there is a screw, believe it or not, underneath all this mess. Take some of my cryle here. Okay. And this connects the dog bone. Like I say, I'm going to put all these linkages and stuff together so you can see how all this fits together. There we go. One good thing about this, at least it's not rust. It's like a greasy mess. Okay, so we got to take this screw out. There it comes. Ta-da! Okay, and it's not an eccentric cam, it's just a cam screw. Put that in a pile of parts. You don't have to worry about keeping your parts separated because just don't lose them. When we go put this together again, and there's a couple of things we'll do, and you'll see where everything else fits together. So don't worry about you forget where one part goes to another. Okay. Now the other one we need to take off is these two screws here. Okay. This is your looper adjustment. This regulates the height of your looper. If you have an oiling cap, unscrew that at this time. We don't want to break that off. Okay. And let's see here. Your looper needs to be almost in a forward position for this to come loose. Let's see where we're at here. Take this screw off. This screw off. Okay. Needs to come forward a little bit more. So you need to turn your wheel. There it goes. To move your looper bar forward. There we go. There, that comes out just like that. Okay. Put that in the pile. Now we are totally disconnected from the bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in our hand wheel. Okay. and then we're going to pull the shaft out. Okay. There we go. Instead of banging on it, just hold this wheel and just turn on it. Because there's a lot of things that you don't want to bang on it too hard. So just go ahead and just turn on this. There we go. And as you turn, pull. Okay, and then just keep giving stuff oil where the shaft would be riding. Now what you guys, now just keep on holding on this and just pull this shaft out. What is it wrong here? Why, since this one is turning, this one must be the one that's stuck too. Okay, this one's loose. That's freewheeling now. Now which one is caught? This one right here. Okay. Okay, she's starting to work her way loose now. What you got to do, guys, is just be patient. For every time you want to turn something and twist and turn, every which cam is turning with you, hold that down and just keep working at it, put more oil on it, because that's where it's getting stuck at. And as you can tell, I am past the point to where there was a ridge in here where everything was getting caught up on. Now I should be able to start pulling my shaft straight out. Okay. Yeah, here it comes. See, now we're going to find out where the problem child was at. See, now it's coming through here. Now it's right there. Must have been about 2 or 3 spots. Okay. As you can see, it's starting to come out. There we go. And there's your shaft. Oh yeah, and you could see where it was riding right there. I think it was this part right here. The end of it. Let me get a rag. We'll see where it was rubbing at. Yeah, you can see this brown colored stuff right there. And that's what we were fighting through. Okay. Then right here, you can see this right here. It was sticking right there with these cams right there. Okay. So there's your shaft. Okay. Throw that in the parts pile. Okay, now this thing, here's this big cam wheel. Wow. Now what I want to show you here while I have it out, you see this little, right where my finger's at, this little indentation, that's where that ball goes into. Okay, when we start assembling this, that I told you that there might be a ball that fell out that rode on this right here. Okay. So, yeah. Like I say, do not take this screw loose or these screw loose. Do not take your looper apart. Okay. Now with the shaft out, now see how this comes out. See how nasty that is? Isn't that great? What Bob with Vintage Machines would say is smooge, or what does he call it? Smooge? Smooge. I like watching his channel. Okay, throw that in the parts pile. And now these 2 screws here for your needle bar, we're going to have to pull your needle bar out. Which would be the best way to do this. Tell you what, let's loosen. You got a set screw right here underneath this. There's a set screw right here. We're going to loosen that. See, it should take all this stuff off. Okay. We'll put this over here for now. You got little needle bearings in here. Don't tip this upside down. Okay. What could I use for that? Will this fit in between there? Oh, here we go. The easiest answer is right in front of me. There we go. Well, we got to take these needle bars. Okay, we're going to take these bars off. Okay, this wheel off. You see the needles right there? When you take it off, they're going to fall out. Okay. Lay this down to the side right here for now. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about that. Okay, now let's take and let's see, let's pull this cover off. Let's lower this set screw. Okay, we're going to this where the bottom of the spring is. There we go. Got it. Was able to reach it. Now that should, there we go. All it had to do, where this gear is, you got two set screws, able to push this disc down so we can pull the needle bar out. You got a brass bushing right here. Okay. Don't mess with this brass bushing. So we're just going to loosen up the needle bar screws. These 2 screws up here. And then what we want to do, put a bunch of prile right here. And we're going to have to retime this. I don't have the needles in it, so I don't know if I'm going to have the proper needles. But the needles I do have, I don't know if they're the right length or not. But I'm going to have to adjust my needle bar according to that. Okay. There we go. And we got the needle bar out. Now this thing should just come straight on out. Look at all that garbage and stuff on this thing. Okay. Now this is why you didn't want to bang on it, because what you're banging against when you're pulling that shaft out, you had that needle bar in here, but the only thing that was holding it was this casting right here. Your needle bar. Okay, this is nothing but cast aluminum, cast pot metal. This will break easy. That's why you don't want to pound on that shaft one way or the other. You want to take and just twist and pull as I was doing. You might have to give it some light love taps, but don't bang on anything. This is one of the most delicate machines I ever seen made. Okay. But anyway, that's your needle bar. And then this one right here we can't pull out until we take this bar off. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and remove this spring for this right here. So I'm guessing well, here we go. That was easy. That spring is just looped into this right here, this bottom part for this right there. Okay. I don't know if I want to take that off or not because I don't know how I'm going to tighten it up. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So we'll just take this off, pull down on the screen as you're turning. Now you can see you're unthreading it. It has to come off anyway because we want to inspect it. Okay. There it goes. We'll put this back on here so we know this is the nut that goes on there. Okay, we'll just stick that in there like so. We're going to take this stitch regulator knob off right here. Okay. Where it goes back and forth. Okay, throw that in the pile of parts. Okay, what we got to do is we're going to have to get this out of our way next. So let's just go ahead and unscrew this screw right here. This locking screw. Okay, and that should be able to push that shaft through. Okay, let's see what we got here. More hammering. Okay, what shaft we're pulling out is this one right here for this bar. No, that comes out easy. Okay. Kind of, sort of. Have to work it a little bit. Oh, come on out of there. There we go. That's out. And then this should come right off of there like so. Okay. I will show you where this was connected. Okay. Now, this should come right out of here. There we go. Like I say, it should. And there's your other cam for your stitch length. Like I say, people, do not worry about how these parts go back in, because I will show you. Okay, let me go get something here to finish. Oop, that's too big. Finish punching this out. Alrighty, so we got that off. There we go. Now, okay, throw that in the pile. Whoa, this is something new. Huh. There's a little nut down here. It's like it's bolted in. Never seen that before. Okay. I must have been, I don't know what models I was working on if I'd never seen all this crap before. Okay. What I want to do, what we're doing is got to remove these shaft stops. As you see, in most sewing machines have them. Well, I'm going to have to unloosen this stop. There we go, got it loosened up. Okay. Now this should all come out. Okay. Get this screw out here. That bar should just come on off of there, like so. Off of this wishbone right here. Okay. There we go here. And then this should just slide forward on out. Get out past the smoosh. There we go. Just like so. Okay, what else do we need to take out of here? Can you see the crud in there? Let me bring down the light so you can see it better in there. See all that crud in there? Okay. So let's put this case aside and let's get all of our parts inventoried. Okay. We'll worry about this later. Okay. Okay, it looks like we just got nothing but parts here. Okay, what we want to do here because we need to put that back onto that. Okay, so now I got to put the bearings back in. They're easy to do. All you can do is just put it on its side like so, you know. And just let them fall in there. It's good to have oil in there. That way it acts like a sticky. It helps hold them in place. And you just keep working your way around. Like so. Put it forward a little bit, put it over here. Like I say, don't lose any of these. There we go. Now we can screw this back on again. Okay, we'll just do everything finger tight. There we go. So this one's already cleaned up, ready to go. Go back on the machine. Okay. So we'll throw that up over here for now. Okay, now let's inventory our parts. This little hex head I'm going to put back in the case. Okay, which goes right here. You remember it held in that plate for that stitch, the stitch length. Okay. Then I also want to put in, where they go, these little stop it like things. Okay, so this one went over on this side. Okay, and what else do I need to put back in here? I think those are it for this model. We'll screw this back in a little bit further. We're not going to worry about taking this apart, this gear and stuff right here, because for us to do that we have to remove this bushing, this brass bushing right there. You can't see it underneath all that smuck. So we're just going to clean this as where it sits. Okay. Alrighty. Holy lordy moly. Look at this crap. Okay, there's the looper bar. Here is this bar for, this is to open and close your wheel discs. This shaft goes into here, and this forks right here, they connect to right here. Okay, that's where these go. I'm going to have all these parts laid out. We're going to assemble them first before we put them in a machine. That way you get a feel of where they go. Okay. This is just going to be a basic quick clean. Okay. Okay, well, This part's pretty good. I don't see any cracks in it. We'll clean this stuff up later. Okay. This is your stitch length. This is the can that goes right next to the case. That's pretty good in there. What you want to do is keep these together in the way you found them. Okay. So I'll just put oil right in here, and we'll clean these later. Take them apart, and right now I just want to inventory, make sure I didn't lose anything. Okay. Went in this way. If you forget which way it goes in, try it one way or the other, because it'll be hard to turn and won't turn as freely. So, plus if you lay this on a flat surface, see, it's flat here and it's flat there. So it doesn't matter how this really goes in, but it goes in, but it matters how you took it apart, because the machine, because these two parts are, how should I say it, fitted together. Okay, so we'll lay that over here. So that these are all accounted for. This is all accounted for. So I'm going to put some cryo down in here. Down in here. If you don't have to take parts apart, don't do it. We'll just clean it like this. I got this nut loose. I got some stuff going on in there. When you do that, do not mar this up. Okay. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, it's all right there. That's where it's all coming from. There we go. Oh, okay, I see. I don't know if this is supposed to be a wick felt or a felt in there, or is it just garbage? It looks like just garbage. That's why it was always, there we go. Now we're clean as a whistle in there. Got a little oil groove right here that's jammed with dirt. Okay. Okay, so this fits in a machine like this. So it goes in like so. If you got hot, you know, if it went in like this, or if it went in like so, hold the outside like this and just go from your right to your left. There we go. Put the jam nut back in. There we go. Okay. Oh, what do we got next? Oh, let's take care of this poor needle bar. Okay, let's get this thing initially cleaned up. Needle bar bracket. There we go. Holy moly. What we're doing right now is getting the big chunks off and making sure nothing's broken or missing. We didn't lose anything. Okay. That cam goes here. It rides into here. I got a brass brush I got to clean all this stuff with. I got about a dozen of them, but I don't know where they are. They're out in the garage. My garage is such a mess I can't even walk through it, so they're permanently lost out there if they're out in the garage. Oh, I know. Let's see here. Okay, that looks a lot better. Let's clean this up a little bit more. Okay. So the looper's good. Somewhat clean. Not as clean as I like it, but we do have the majority of the dirt off of it. Okay. So that part's good. We got all those parts. This ball bearing here. Okay. Make sure we get this ball right here. Okay. Put that ball back on there like so. And then that would go into here like there. Okay. Where that little indentation is. We don't want to do that with all this garbage in there. Gosh, no. So I'll get another reach around here and get another oh, here's a Q-tip right here. Okay, now we're going to do this stuff. Oh God. Do I have another Q-tip? Oh. Okay. Okay, I got a little set screw here. And is it that one? Yeah, we're going to put this set screw back into this one so we don't lose the set screw. Okay, where's my screwdriver? Holy ho, where's my screwdriver? Here it is on the floor. Okay. So I'll go ahead and screw this into here. Okay. Should have a push-pull pin. Here we go. Don't want to lose this. Remember, we had to push that push-pull pin out. I'm going to stick that right into here so I know where it's at. Okay. So we got the set screw, the push-pull pin. This part's all accounted for. Okay. We have this looper lock. Remember, it goes on the back of the looper. And here's the nut. So we're going to put this together. We don't want to lose that, because that goes back here to the looper bar. Okay. What other little part we have? Oh, we got a set screw. We got a set screw missing somewhere. This is why you want to... Might be this one. Yep, it belongs to this one. I had to remember we had to take that one out. No. Everything falls on the floor. Okay. Okay. So this cam set screws in place. We know where the drift pins are for this. That's good. Here's another cam. Okay, set screw is good. We know where the drift pins are for this. So this part's good to go. Okay, these big screws here. Okay. We'll clean these up later. I mean, better. There's that screw. And here's this screw. Okay. That's good to go. This little tab goes on the back side of it. Okay. These screws here are for the cover. This front cover, where'd it go? Oh, this cover right here. Okay. So we'll stick those screws into there. And we'll clean these up later on when we put it back together again. There's that screw. And there's that screw. Okay. Okay, this is that linkage that we took off on the side. You remember? We had to dig to it. This hooks right here. This dog leg and this dog leg, okay? That's how these go together, okay? This is your stitch length. Again, when we get these things cleaned up, totally cleaned up, we will assemble this together outside the machine, so you know the relationship that these parts have to one another. Okay? But that won't be until tomorrow. But today we're just going to be cleaning. Okay? And making sure that we have all of our parts are accounted for. Okay, and that goes like so. Okay. Now, The only thing we have left is these grease caps. Okay. And the spring. Oh, and this thing. Holy moly. This thing.
I'm going to play the entire section of this clutch assembly on my thought process and what I was thinking when I was taking this stupid thing apart.
I did not want to do that. Okay.
If you decide to take these clutches apart, do one at a time. The internal cam where the springs go are opposite of one another. So ensure that you take one clutch apart, put it together, then take the other one apart.
The clutch works good. Okay. Do we even venture to tear that apart? Washer onto here. And if you unscrew this, this has to go to this part right here. Is that part of the shaft? It is. Oh, buggers, buggers, buggers. What do we do? Well, we'll just go a little by little. Maybe not. Maybe we won't do this. If we can't get these off the shaft. Let me put a little coil on here. See, this is also a clutch too. Whoa. That thing was coming apart. Okay, how are these screws lined up? Okay, they're lined up perfectly like that. That's good to know. Okay. Okay. Let me get a little closer here. There we go. Okay. Let's see what these screws have to offer. Can't even see my screw holes. Uh-oh, that came loose. Okay. Is it just one? I thought there's two. Okay. Okay, that came loose. Put they're not coming loose. Boy, I think that's rusted in there pretty good. Let me see this one. Okay, that one is loose. That one is loose. Okay, that does that. Okay, what are we looking at here? Okay, so this is all machined together. Okay. Oh, that makes it easy like that. Okay. Now we just got to break this one free from the shaft. Well, do we do it or not? Okay, let's clean this one up. Okay, let's see here. Oh, wrong side. Oops. There we go. Okay, now we got to remember this goes to this piece. Okay. Okay, how do I get that out of there? Tell you what, let's do. Let's tighten up this one screw here where the flat is at. Is that on the flat? Yep. Okay, let's see if we can't twist it. Oh, there it is. Now it's starting to twist off. See, I don't like banging. Twisting is good. Banging, no. Banging, bad. Okay. So that part goes like this. And that shaft comes on out. Okay, we'll leave that washer there. Okay. So we remember that this washer side right there goes to this side right there. Oh God, do we take this off? Oh, it's already coming off anyway. Well, let's see how dirty it is inside there. Well, I wonder if it's spring loaded. Sure feels like it. Should go look at the IPB of this. See what's in there. Because I tell you one thing, if it springs in there, I'm gonna be screwed trying to get those springs back in there. Oh, me. Oh man. I did not want to do that. Okay. I needed to take that cover off is what I needed to do. Now, okay, you did what I did. You let all these pieces fly around. Okay. So how do you put this all back together again? Because here's you should have 4 little bearings. Okay. And you should have 4 springs with little tappets. Okay. You see these little tappets in my hand? So 4 springs and little tappets. So after you find all your parts, okay, naturally you take and you clean this up, okay. Then you take your ring, okay, you put your ring in first, just like so. Let me see if the hose line up. Yep, hose line up, so I got it on right. Okay, there's not all set. Okay, you take a spring with a tappet. The tappet remains on the outside, and you stick your spring into the hole. like so. Now, there's no secret way of doing this, okay? You're just going to have to work with it and find what works best for you to how to get that spring inside that little hole. Okay, when you're putting this thing together, you got to get a clamp, because this outer ring will slide back and forth. You see that gap there? Okay. But anyway, if you don't have that gap there, these won't fit. The last two won't fit, so you gotta clamp them in there and push this ring back to where you get that space up there. All right, after about an hour, no, I'm only kidding, probably about 10-15 minutes, I finally got it in there. But you have to have that gap. You see that gap right there next to the one you're trying to load. Okay, if you don't have a gap, they won't fit. I mean, so now when you turn it, now everything evens out. So there you have it. Okay, then we're going to put the cover back on. We got it pretty well oiled. And these two screws. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put this one back on the shaft. Let's clean out this shaft here. It's pretty dirty. Okay, let's oil up this shaft. Okay. Okay, got this back on the shaft again. The one with the teeth. Okay, this one with the teeth in it goes against this back side right here. Okay, now this one right here, same scenario. I do not want to pull this apart and go through what I get again. So I'm going to have to remove these two screws. This one looks a little worse than the other one did. Ouch, God. I hate it when I do that. I hate it when I jam the screwdriver in the web of my hand. Okay, let a little bit of coil soak into there. Okay. Let that soak for 2 or 3 minutes and see, did I puncture any skin or not? No, I didn't. Cool. Okay. I'm not pulling these springs out. I'm just going to go in there and clean them the best I can without disassembling it. Then the cover's going back on again. So I mean, it's even looking cleaner now. I don't know. I think that oil just, I don't know what it does to the metal, but it. Okay. Okay, that one's loose. Oh, that one's loose. Okay. We're in there. Where the hell did this come from? Oh, okay. That's from the other machine. Boy, look at that. Look at all the oil that just oozed out of there and just became varnish. Look at that. I hope it ain't all varnish on the inside of this thing. We will find out. Always remove the covers with the 2 screws. Do not separate it back here. It will separate back here, but you need to take the cover off. Okay. Oh man. There you go. Am I going to take those screws out? Hell no, I'm not. I don't know. The more I look into there, that's all dried up oil right there. It was amazing. Underneath all that dried up oil is rust. Explain that. Well, shoot. You know, since that is a mechanical device right here, you do have moving parts into there. I am going to have to remove those springs and those whatchamacallits. But I'm going to do it in a controlled atmosphere. I'm not just going to let it unleash like a nuclear bomb. So oh well, let's take them out. They should come out easier than they are when they. Okay. Huh. At least if you let one shoot out at a time, at least you know where it goes. Oops. Yeah, look at the bottom side of it. Yeah, they need to be cleaned out. God damn it. Oh, well, here we go. Okay. Oh, my. Look at that. Is that something or what? Okay, let's see how loose these are, or tight these are. That one's loose. That one's loose. That one's loose. There's always one that's not. Okay. 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 Then I could always take a where's some this stuff at? Okay. God, that stuff is amazing. This krill. I mean, 3-in-1 oil, penetrating, or WD-40, you name it. This stuff is instant acting. Okay. Take all that hard crust off of there. Okay. I think when they went to go blue this material, it had oil on it. The only side that we're worried about this being clean is on the inside, like a race of a bearing. Okay, we don't want any garbage or anything in the middle. And we don't want to put wire wheels or anything in here either. Okay, this is like a bearing of a shaft. It needs to be nice and smooth, clean, and pit free. There we go. Oh, it actually is a bearing race if you want to technically think about it. This side doesn't matter. These are enclosed by the plates. Okay, take a little polisher. Make sure I got all the big chunks off. Okay. Ouch. Don't, yeah, that's sharp edges there, people. Be careful. There we go. A little dab would do ya. Okay. That's clean enough for me. That's just stained steel, and that ain't gonna bother me. I'm not gonna sit. I don't like to take metal off, especially when it's a machine part. This thing is really. now I got to get my wire wheel out. This needs to be cleaned. That's just chunks right there. Okay. When you use these Dremel wire wheels, don't put them on super high speed. As you can see, this cleans just as good. All the high speed does is make all your little wires fling out when you have it set for such a high RPM. So just okay, where am I at? Here we go. Okay. So this is plugged in. Alrighty. Now, just take these with a little rag and clean these up. I don't like to use okay, that one's good. This one must be shorter than the rest of them are. Because it has a lot of built up stuff on top or on the bottom, every which side you want to look at. Okay. Again, I'm getting the surface grime off of them. Stains don't bother me. Stains were off. Well, these were nasty. Because if these chunks would have broke off and stuff during use, it would have been, you know, your clutches would have been operating erratically. Okay. Let's go put that back together again. You've seen how I put the first one back together, so we're not going to do the same one here. There, I got to put back together. Also, when you take these apart, take these apart one at a time, put them together one at a time. Because you see how when this is screwed down here, okay, you see the directions where the springs are pointed? Okay, this one right here, where it was mounted to the plate, the springs were mounted on this side and not this side. So take one of these apart at a time, clean them, put them together, and then take the other one apart. Okay, you don't want to get these things backwards, because then your stitch thing will work in the opposite direction. Roger. Or it might not work at all. So, no, you got to make sure take them apart one at a time, put them together, and then take the other one apart. Do not have both of these apart together. Okay. All right. Does this work? Oh yeah. It even works smoother than what it did. Cool. Now this one goes on just like so. And that one was just right. Let's see here. It was right about in there. Okay, people. There we have it. Because when this one releases, this one locks and this one releases. Then when this one turns, this one locks and this one releases. Alrighty. Now be careful, because you could take it and pull these apart. Okay? So okay, what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to assemble all these parts without it being in the machine, so we could see what it looks like and what all these pieces have in relationship to one another. Then it's easier to understand how this thing works, and it's easier to understand how to make adjustments, or because I don't know how many adjustments there are to make because everything is on the flats. But it gives you a good idea on how your machine operates. Okay. Okay, your stitch linkage, and with the cam. Okay. Probably goes right about there. Doesn't have to be exact. Now the next cam would go on to be your needle bar cam. Okay, and that would go on just like so. So that goes on. Okay, then your needle bar bracket will fit on after that. Oh, it goes out this way. This goes against the cam. So as you can see how it fits inside that cam like so. There we go. Then we have your flyweight, counterweight. That would go on next as far as sliding into the bar. Okay. Then what would go on next, let me take this back off again. You see this notch right there? Okay. That's what we're going to slide this ball into. This ball on your looper controller, this ball right there, is going to go inside that ball, that slot right there. So we're going to slide this on. Then the looper would go on. Also, the looper cam rides right here too. This is what makes your looper go forward and back, and the ball is what makes it go left and right. Okay. So that's going to slide on like so. Then the looper okay. The looper ball, get in there. There we go. Okay, so now that's all put together. Okay, see that? Okay, now the other components. The other two components that are attached to your upper upper shaft is this is your looper adjustment to make it high or low. Okay, you adjust your height of it, and that fits right there in this looper piece, just like so. Okay, see that? Okay, then the next piece that goes on would be your stitch length. This is how you adjust your stitch length. Okay, that goes on. Oops, that goes on like so. Okay. Then your clutches, these famous clutches. Okay, you see this one right here with the looper, with this eyelet right there, with the teeth right in the gear. Okay, and this just gets hooked on just like so. Okay, and that is how everything is connected. So hopefully this right here, you can see how this will make your looper go up and down. Okay, to adjustment. So you can see the relationship on how all these cams work and what is tied to one another. Oh, yeah. Then you have your this thing. Okay, your bottom disc right there. This gets ridden in. It'd be like so, just like that. Let me slide this up right over here, and this goes in like so. Okay, and then this spring gets tied in like so, and then this screw and the nut goes in just like that. Okay, and that's how all that works. As you can tell, this machine almost looks brand new. Okay, looks like on the inside. See that? Okay, so there's no more hairy balls on this machine. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in our pieces. We're going to put our thing in. Okay. Again, there we go. It goes in just like this arm next to the machine. Okay. The next one that goes in is our needle bar cam. Goes in just like this. Okay. The next piece that goes in is actually the needle bar bracket. Okay. And when this goes in, the screws are to your right. Actually, because this right here is where the cam rises on the back side of this. So that goes onto the bar like so, and it straddles that cam. Like so. Okay. There we go. Once you get your needle bar bracket in, okay, hold this, and you want this everything tight against back here, and you want your bar on your cam. See how it's on your cam? But you don't want your shaft extending past that point, okay? Because otherwise it's going to interfere with us putting the looper bracket in. So what we're going to do is with the looper bracket, okay, I'm going to do it from the back here so you can see how it goes on, because you're going to be doing it from the back. Okay, you're going to put this looper front into the bracket like so. Okay, and then you're going to let it just pivot down into place just like so. Okay, and then you're going to push it back a little bit. Okay, just like that. Now you want to push your shaft forward a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to put you back on a stand, and I'm going to use two hands. Okay, now that you're back up there, where are we at? Okay. Now I'm going to turn you around like this. So I'm going to hold everything. I'm going to push this bar over like so. Okay. There we go. Is that still on the cam? Okay. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put in this heavy wheel. Put my ball on there like so. And there we go. Don't let the ball fall off. Okay, let's see here. There we go. We got it in there. Now we want the shaft to go all the way through. There we go. Now you want to slide all the cams back. And we need to raise this up to fit on this cam here and into the, okay, there's that. Okay, we'll raise this up, turn this at the same time. Oh, there we go. God, look at that. Did we do it? All right, we done it. Okay, now what we're going to do, boys and girls, we're going to start from this end and locking everything down towards that end. Alrighty? Okay, there's my flat. Okay. So now we're going to move this together. There it is right there. Okay. I got my screw lined up with my flat, and I'm going to go ahead and drive in my pin. Okay. Okay. There you go. As you can see, I got my pin in. I'm going to back this up, and we go ahead and lock down my screw here. Okay, this is going to be a rinse and repeat for the next cab. Okay. Bring that over. Okay. Turn my screw. There it is right there. Get my other pin. If these pins were any looser, I'd be putting Loctite on them because I wouldn't be removing these again. Oops. Don't want to do that. Let's find the hole first. Uh-oh, where'd that hole go? There it is right there. Oh, I should be putting Loctite on that one. I'm going to go ahead and tighten down my lock screw. Because I doubt if I'd ever take that pin out again. And if it falls out, your lock screw will still hold it. But I doubt if it will fall out. We'll see what happens when I start using this machine. Okay, now the next one we're going to get put in is this big one. Now remember, let's see here. Okay, we got that, and I could see where I buffed it, but yet the counterweight was right just like this. Okay, now I'm going to have to turn this so I can see where the drift pin hole is. By George, is that it right there? Can't be. It can't be that easy. Let's see here. I think it is. Okay. Where did I put my drift pin? Oh, here it is. Oh. Tell you what, let's do. Let's pull this pin out and get a smaller thing like this drill bit. Will that fit in there? Yeah. Okay. And then we'll just follow this drill bit on down. There we go. Now I can actually tighten down this cam. Where's it at? Was I out of the picture during that entire time? Okay. Next most important thing to do is to put in this back let me clean that up a bit. I didn't clean that up very well. Okay, that goes in just like so. Push it on through. Put the nut on here. Okay, that should be 3/8. Turn the crank. Okay, we don't have the looper, what you call it, in yet. The adjustment. Alrighty, let's go do that right now. So let's turn it on its back. Okay, so we can see what we're doing. Shut in the light here. Now this cam deal is going to go right there in that loop. Remember that? This is the point of the looper bracket. Goes in there just like so. We have a tin spacer. It's actually a slide bar, so that thing can slide up and down. It has a cutout. We want this cutout just lay down just like so, okay? Just like that. Okay. Lay that down there. And then we'll get the two big screws. this one and this one. I didn't clean them very well. That's okay. They're only screws. So we'll screw this one in. And put the bottom screw in. And what we're going to do, just so we don't damage anything, we're going to raise the looper to its highest position for right now. Okay, which means that we're going to pry up on it just like so. Just see, this is bringing the looper down. See that? Now we're going to bring the looper up. And we're going to just tighten it down just right there for now. It doesn't have to be gorilla tight. Now that we reach this point, okay, we don't want to go any further. Okay, you should be able to, with your hand, oops, you should be able to take your finger and spin your machine. Okay, if you can't do this, there's two things that you can do. Okay, one thing is, if you can't spin it like that freely, is you see this needle bar cam right there going up and down. If this bar is shifted this way to our left, away, it's binding against your needle bar bracket. Okay, the back of the cam should not be touching the back of this wall right there of the needle bar assembly. Okay, so that's one reason why it probably is a little tough to turn. Okay, so if that's the case, take a soft blow hammer, and in the meantime, push on your hand wheel, and then that should knock the bar that direction. Okay, and then loosen up your hand wheel nut or screw, and then push your hand wheel against the machine, and that way it will squeeze this cam and over. Okay, because you want this cam tight against the body right here. Okay, this cam right there. I have it loose because we're not connected to the clutches yet, to the stitch, to the drums. Okay, we just got done putting these two screws in for your looper. Okay, and another thing that might be binding is your looper might be touching your disc down here. Your looper might be too high or it's too low, and it's hitting that disc. So those are the two things you could do. Take a soft blow mallet, hit it, and then turn it to see if that's an instant fix. Then if it is, you gotta keep pushing on here with your thumb, and then with your hand wheel, loose, push that there, then tighten up the screw. Because your hand wheel prevents the shaft from going this direction. This cam with that lock screw prevents it from going that direction. Okay, so your hand wheel has to be tight against the machine here. So those are the things that will, at this point, prevent you from doing this. Okay, you should be able to just take your finger and turn it just like so at this stage. Like I say, we don't have our drums connected yet. Our last step was putting these 2 screws in for your looper adjustment. If your looper is contacting the disc, if it's too low, that will prevent it from turning. So those 2 things. Move the shaft that direction. Check your looper height. Then that should turn freely. Roger. Now what we need to do next is to put in our needle bar support. Okay, so we got to turn the machine upside down to do that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put in this. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. There we go. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this bar here that's moving in and out. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just let it just lay right there. Just let it sit right on top. Now let's see how that works. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. Or like that. Hose line up better like that. Okay. Okay, let's see if that does anything. Put oil on it. There we go. I can tell. Alrighty, I can tell something's way out of whack, but we'll have to make adjustments here later on. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and put in there we go, clutches. Let's put in the stitch clutches. Okay. But first, before we got to do that, we got to put this in, your stitch length selector. Remember how this screwed end? That goes to the whatchamacallit back there. Do your dog bone from your just ouch. That damn needle. Should have taken that out. There we go. Put in your your stitch indicator plate. Maybe. Okay. The knob, locking knob. There we go. And that pin goes into that one right there. The one where you see the two screws, that screw, not that end, even though I think that might still fit in there. Yeah, it does. Okay. It's the ones with the two screws. Okay. Okay. That goes on like so. Okay. Let's go back out these. Okay. Now you're just going to have to move this up and down and up, back and forth to get these to be able to line up. Where's this clutch at? Want to make sure that this clutch here is, whoa, don't come out. It's turned where you'll be able to turn it and lock it. It's the only way that can go on. Okay, let's turn this one down this way. Yeah, you just got the maneuvered in here yourself to, there's really nothing to see yet. Okay, let me see something here. Now get this one lined up. Where's it at? Lights. Do I have it? I think so. There we go. Okay, the name of the game is to, God damn it, is to get this pin in, where my finger's at, that pin in with this rod guide, or what you want to call it, and this rod guide in at the same time. So you got to raise and lower and turn and stuff, and then you got to make sure that your clutch plate do not go past your hole here, because you're not going to be able to turn your clutch plate backwards. You have to do it all over again. You have to spin that thing around. So make sure your clutch plate comes from this position going this way. Maybe I better loosen that up a little bit so I can maneuver it a little bit. There we go. Well, crap. I need to see what I'm doing. Okay. There we go. Nope, too big. I think I just used this. Alrighty, that's, you don't over tighten that. That's a small screw. Okay, now let's see what this needs to be adjusted again. Okay, there's that. Let's see here. We got to line this up with the gears here.
What you need to do here is to move your stick length bar up and down, or be forward and aft, but you want to check for ease of movement. So you need to make adjustment, move your lever, manually move that back and forth like I'm doing here, and make adjustments accordingly.
Okay, that's not too bad. Let's see what we got here. Okay, that's too tight. Let me loosen this one up. I can see it's going to be a matter of tightening and loosening, loosening and tightening. Okay. That works. There we go. Now let's go ahead and put this screw in for the final time, maybe. But what I found out is that you have to push up on this. So once we get the screw lined up, then it'll line up the rod a lot better. Okay. There we go. Now let's see how it works. See if it's any better. Okay, that's the small stitch length. As you can see, the okay, now let's go to the bigger stitch length. See if that works. Now this thing should turn a lot quicker, or a lot more further. Which it does. Okay, now let's get these things centered. There's that. And there's that. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That works a lot better. You just want to take these screws and just, once you feel that touch the rod, stop. Okay? Touch the rod and stop. Okay. I tighten this one down first, so if it does do anything, I'll push it against the gear. I don't want to tighten this down and have this put too much pressure against the gear. So tighten this one down first, and then you got to go ahead and then there we go. Then you can just go ahead and just tighten up this nut. And that way, it won't put any more pressure against that gear. Alrighty. Boy, this thing needs to be oiled bad. Okay, we're just going to just drench this thing in oil. Because it should almost be freewheeling. Okay. Oh, there we go. Look at that. And this needs to be oiled more over here. And no doubt, the looper cam needs to be oiled. There we go. I'll tell you one thing, this thing loves its oil. There's something tight right there. I wonder if that looper is not quite right yet. Because there's one spot that catches. And that'd be it right there. It'd be the looper. It was set too high. I just loosen these up and let things fall into place. Oh, that feels a lot better. There we go. Now there's no high-low. Yeah, this thing was just set up too high. We still got to put in, what you call it? Okay, now it's time to put in, name that part. Okay, we still got to put in these yet. Okay, I thought I was done. Not so fast there, guy. Okay. Oil. Let's put in some oil. We need some oil. How much oil? If it's dripping, it's just about right. There we go. Okay, we'll worry about the height of this stuff later. Let's go ahead and get this in on the bottom done. Okay. Where do we need to be? Here's this bar here. Okay. Okay, we all know where this goes. Oh, let's see here. Yep. So we want it to go in just like chain section forward. And this is pointing towards the bottom, which is up. And that's going to go in that groove of that rod. Just like so. Okay. Couldn't ask for a better fit than that. Okay. Let's put our rod in. Oil the crap out of it. There's that. Pull on the rod. That should pull that thing out. Let's see here. Yep. We got it in right. Let's go ahead and close it. There we go. Now, the spring. Now we got to start the nut. You can see this where the bolt is, but we need to do it going through the machine first. So we got to go through here, bring our spring all the way up to the, and then you can just barely see the bolt. Okay. Well, we'll find out. We'll see if I guess it's easier to just pull on the spring. There we go. Just pull on the spring. There we go. That's like so. You can see it tighten up. God, how much of a preload do we give? I don't know. Apparently not that much. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. Oh, that's way too much. Oh, yeah. It's getting better. Okay. Oh, here we go. Let's put this one in here. Okay, so let's get it the same height as this disc here. I think that's where there we go. I don't know. I got to look on YouTube to see how it goes. This is as far as I could go right now. But anyway, let's look at the before and after. Here's what it looks like now. And you can actually see the screw head. But that's what it looks like today. I hope this helped. I hope it didn't confuse a lot of you guys. I was confused. But there was never a video on how to take these things apart or what's involved or can you take them apart? What happens if you do take them apart? So that's all it took. So